I was a broke nobody. I transmigrated into a novel as a wealthy heir. The moment I woke up, the heroine wanted a divorce. Her first love had returned. She wanted me to step aside for him. As someone who had transmigrated here, I did not care. Still, this body's wife really was captivating. Just as I regretted losing such a beautiful wife. The divorce agreement she tossed me sent me over the moon. Because the agreement stated, after the divorce, the cars, house, and money would all be mine. After all, getting all that as an ordinary worker would have been impossible. Who would turn down that money? I agreed without hesitation. In the original novel, the second male lead could never forget the heroine. He repeatedly caused trouble, eventually kidnapping her, to threaten the male lead. In the end, he was blown up so completely that not even a body remained. Thinking of that, I clutched my chest and stared at my phone balance, letting out a long breath. There are plenty of fish in the sea. With money, why worry about finding a wife? Just then, my phone rang. The caller ID read, "Wife, Liu Ruyan." Could she be having second thoughts? I had barely gotten my hands on the money. I hesitantly answered. A cool voice came through the phone. "Chen, take all your things with you. Yanjie will be unhappy if he sees them. Then throw them away." The words nearly left my mouth, but I thought better of it. I would be a fool to leave them behind. Liu Ruyan might be aloof, but she was generous with money. The things she bought me were worth quite a lot. I cleared my throat and said, "I will be right over." I was afraid she would change her mind. The second I hung up, I headed over. When I arrived at the villa, I was surprised to find Liu Ruyan there too. She wore a finely tailored black skirt suit. She was barefoot, her exposed toes painted pale pink. Her calves were smooth and straight. She lounged casually against the sofa, her gaze deep, her makeup immaculate, with an air of languid indolence. Liu Ruyan like this was stunning and regal. In the novel, Chen's grandfather had once saved Liu Ruyan's father. That was why they were able to marry. Otherwise, how could a modest family like the Gus ever have married into the Liu family? I shook my head. Whatever. Time to pack. I went up to the second-floor bedroom. Pushing open the door, I found the room cold and impersonal. The wardrobe was full of designer clothes for every season. Some still had their tags on. I had hit the jackpot. I set the new clothes aside. I could sell them later for a good price. The rest, I could wear every day, saving me a fortune on clothes. The drawers held more than a dozen watches, as well as diamond cufflinks. As for the other odds and ends, I did not know much about them, but the logos told me they were expensive. I packed all the clothes and accessories into boxes. There were 8 boxes in all. Just as I was about to leave, my chest suddenly felt tight. I could not help sitting on the edge of the bed, as if possessed. I bent down and pulled out a cardboard box from underneath. When I opened it, there was a diary inside, along with a photo album. What was this? January 1st, Liu Ruyan. Today, I finally met her. Father said she was my fiancée. I never expected her to be so beautiful. I think I have fallen for her. January 5th, everyone in the Liu family looks down on me. Liu Ruyan came to talk to me. She said we would be married in name only. It hurt a little, but I agreed anyway. As long as I can see her, that is enough. March 11th. We got married. Ruyan chose the date. She said it was also the company's 10th anniversary, so we held them together. I had no objections. March 12th. Ruyan came to me with an agreement. It made clear that, when that man returned, I would have to leave. I did not want to sign it, but faced with her eyes, I gave in. Inside were Chen's records of every little thing between him and Liu Ruyan. After reading it, I felt strangely unsettled. What was this? He was a pathetic, fawning stand-in. Liu Ruyan treated him coldly every day. Yet Chen stayed with her for 3 years. Now that the real man was back, Chen had to disappear and bow out. He probably died of anger. And that was when I entered this world. I shook my head, put the diary back, then looked at the photo album again. When I opened it, I froze. Every photo was of Liu Ruyan, sitting, standing, scolding someone, sleeping. They were all of her. This Chen really did love her. I thought he was just possessive and jealous. I never imagined his love ran so deep. There were notes beside the photos too, all about Liu Ruyan's preferences, down to the smallest detail. Then again, Liu Ruyan was gorgeous and wealthy. Who would not like her? But people need to know their limits. Take the win and walk away. I packed everything up. and call the moving truck. The moment I went downstairs, I saw Cullinan pull up outside. A man stepped out of it. He was about 6 feet tall, with fair, clear skin, and glasses perched on his nose. He had a lean build, and looked somewhat melancholy, even a little pale. His features were somewhat like mine, but I looked far healthier and brighter than he did. You must be Chen. Thank you for taking care of Ryan these past few years. I see. This was the male lead, Yanjie. I gave him a tight smile. You are welcome. Ryan and I took care of each other. We are husband and wife, after all. His face visibly darkened. I sneered inwardly. Liu Ruyan and I had not even finalized our divorce. Yet this man had already come calling. Just as I was about to speak, Liu Ruyan cried out behind me. Yanjie, what are you doing here? Like a gust of wind, she rushed past me, straight toward Yanjie, and threw herself into his arms right in front of me. Then she turned to look at me. Why are you still here? Her gaze was cold and sharp. I could not help but scoff. Liu Ruyan, you just could not wait, could you? If not for your own sake, at least think of the company. If anyone sees you or gets a photo, Mr. Fu will be branded the other man. After all, our divorce is not final yet. Liu Ruyan's face turned livid. Beside her, Yanjie frowned, his gaze dark and menacing. I was not afraid in the slightest. I met their eyes head-on. Liu Ruyan looked displeased. Chen, you promised. Yes, I did promise, but I have my pride too. If you want a divorce, then wait patiently. I am not that pathetic lapdog, especially after seeing them embrace right in front of me. Not even a doormat could put up with that. Before Liu Ruyan could speak, Yanjie took her hand and spoke first. You have misunderstood. Ryan and I have not seen each other in 3 years. I only came to take her out and catch up today. Several friends will be there too. If you would like, why not join us? Yanjie and Liu Ruyan's friends were naturally part of high society. If I could not fit in, I should not force it. No, thanks. I have things to do. But let me give you both a reminder. I pointed at Yanjie. Keep proper boundaries between men and women. Your circle is pretty messy. Watch yourselves. With that, I looked at Liu Ruyan. She should have understood what I meant. She took a step back and put some distance between herself and Yanjie. Yanjie's face instantly darkened. He stared at me, his eyes icy cold. I gave a cold snort and headed straight to my villa with the moving truck. It was the villa Liu Ruyan had transferred into my name. With this place, plus those clothes and accessories, life would not be difficult from here on out. I took all the new clothes to a resale shop and sold them at 20% off. I made 300,000 yuan. I sold every remaining accessory too. My bank balance was healthy again. Even after the divorce, I would still have this much money. I could live easy. Still, I had work to deal with. The original Chen worked at the Liu family's company. Now that I was getting divorced, should I stay or resign? I would not resign. Let her fire me instead. Then I could get a payout. I had already entered this novel anyway. There was no way I was going to suffer. Making money was my only priority. But the male lead's plot armor was even stronger than I expected. Overnight, the internet exploded. Liu Ruyan called me early that morning and roared, Chen, did you do this on purpose? I was completely confused. It took me a while to realize what she meant. What are you talking about? You did it deliberately yesterday, did you not? If I find out you hired someone to do this, you know the consequences. Before I could respond, she hung up. I stood there, utterly baffled. Then I checked the alerts on my phone and finally understood. Someone had photographed me moving out. The photos also showed Liu Ruyan and Yanjie. Who knew which tabloid photographer had taken such clear pictures? Liu Group's beautiful chief executive gets divorced. First love suspected of becoming the other man. Liu Ruyan was the Liu family's most favored heir. Her marriage to me had only been for show. Not many outsiders knew about it, but everyone in our circle knew. For the paparazzi to expose it, who knew which fool had dared to leak it? Yanjie had now become everyone's target, and I was dragged into this disaster for no reason. After thinking it over, I called Liu Ruyan, but her line was always busy. I had no choice but to send her a message. I did not want any more trouble. Liu Ruyan did not reply. Instead, public opinion online began to shift. Yanjie and Liu Ruyan were each other's first loves. They had also been A University's model couple. That man is the real homewrecker. My distant aunt by marriage works as a housekeeper for the Liu family. She said Gu Chen exploited a debt of gratitude to force Liu Ruyan into marriage. Otherwise, why was there not even a wedding? He had no choice but to leave 3 years ago. He was in a car accident and could not make it back. Exactly. I knew Yanjie could not possibly be a homewrecker. Turns out he was set up. Gu Chen is disgusting. Has Liu Ruyan finally escaped that scumbag? After all that suffering, she has finally found happiness. Yanjie was painted as a man devoted to love, while I became the villain who would stop at nothing to get what he wanted. Occasionally, a comment would speak up for me. I was furious. The guilty party was crying foul. If he loved her so deeply, where was he 3 years ago? A car accident did not kill him. Could he not make a phone call? And now he is pretending to be devoted. Liu Ruyan still did not reply. I clenched my fist. Until this matter is settled, I will not go through with this divorce. Before I could find Liu Ruyan, the Gu family came to my door first. I had just sat down to eat when someone pounded on the front door hard enough to shake the house. Who was looking for trouble at a time like this? Who could it be? I opened the door and found a middle-aged couple glaring at me furiously. My heart skipped a beat. A strange tremor stirred deep inside me. Gu Chen, you have really outdone yourself. You actually dared to move out. Where is Miss Liu? What are you standing there for? Your father and I have been looking everywhere for you. And here you are, sitting down to eat. They were Gu Chen's parents. Come to think of it, in the original novel, Gu Chen's parents only ever used him. If they had shown Gu Chen more care, he would not have been so resentful, or ultimately gone down a dead end. But now I was Gu Chen. Of course, I would not let them have their way. Sitting at the table, I continued eating as if they were not there. The woman in front of me slammed her hand on the table. You still have the appetite to eat. What else should I do? Say what you came to say. If you came here just to curse me out, do not bother. I do not want to hear it. The moment I finished speaking, she exploded. Listen to me, Gu Chen. This mess is your fault. If you do not go and apologize, I will not let you off. That is right, Chen. The Liu family has cut off our supply. You know that. Your younger brother's little company depends on the Liu family. With things blown up like this, we cannot show our faces anywhere. The two of them played off each other perfectly. I was truly disappointed. So they were all doomed without help, and only I could save them. I did not force her into marriage. Liu Ruyan is the one who wants to divorce me. Stop blindly asking around. Either way, she will not change her mind. Finish eating, then leave. Soon, we might not even be able to keep this house. Hearing that, they were both stunned. Then they flew into a rage. Gu Chen, there was a marriage agreement when you got married. If the Liu family wants a divorce, we will release the marriage agreement. Then we will see how she divorces you. A marriage agreement? I raised a brow. That thing actually exists. You have seen the comments online, right? Yanjie turned from a homewrecker into a man devoted to true love. What good do you think a marriage agreement will do? Believe it or not, the moment you release it, it will not just be me. Even you too might disappear from this world overnight. I suggest you keep your heads down. I am not trying to scare you. The Liu family's power in the city is not something our family can match. My parents were frightened by my words. They looked at me again, then silently lowered their heads and ate. For a while, the living room was quiet. After dinner, I saw them out. Looking back at the villa, I made up my mind. I could not keep this house either. Otherwise, it would only bring more trouble later. I called an agent and listed the villa for sale. Looking at the cold, empty house, I thought of Liu Ruyan. She still had not replied to me. Instead, my phone kept filling with abusive messages, along with countless harassing calls. I had not planned to pay them any attention, but unexpectedly, after seeing my parents off, I was at home sorting through documents when there was another disturbance outside. When I looked closely, some obsessed fan had come to my door. She even tried to splash paint on me. Fortunately, security restrained her and sent her to the police station. I stood at the door and watched her. The woman screamed like a madwoman. Gu Chen, you will die a horrible death. I had finally had enough. I called Liu Ruyan directly. After it rang more than 10 times, she finally answered. Her icy voice came through. Have you caused enough trouble? Yanjie returned this time as the Fu family's representative. He has a partnership with our Liu family. If we do not stabilize things, I impatiently cut her off. Liu Ruyan, your plans have nothing to do with me. However, let me remind you, during the divorce waiting period, as long as I do not show up to complete the paperwork, this divorce cannot happen. If you keep letting them smear my name, do not blame me. If I refuse to spare anyone's feelings, you have one day to deal with every comment online. If you do not clarify the truth, I do not mind doing it for you. With that, I hung up. Damn it, I have a temper too. They were smearing my name. Even if I transmigrated into this novel, I would not let them treat me like this. Besides, they knew perfectly well who the real homewrecker was. Perhaps my threat had frightened her. Liu Ruyan quickly stepped in herself. She posted only one sentence on Weibo. I hope everyone will stop cyberbullying. Netizens promptly praised her for being beautiful and kind-hearted. Once again, she pushed me into the eye of the storm. Well played. I made my parents give me the marriage agreement. It cost me 3 million. That money hurt to spend. But I had no choice. I will settle this debt. With Liu Ruyan. With the marriage agreement in hand, I saw that old Master Liu had written it himself. It even bore his personal seal. I am truly sorry, old master. Even after your death, I have to drag you in as my shield. But they have gone too far. Still, now is not the time. Let it play out a little longer. Perhaps he thought victory was already his. At that moment, Yanjie actually showed up. The real estate agent came with him. After not seeing him for some time, Yanjie's whole demeanor had changed again. He was aloof and superior, commanding fear without even raising his voice. Now, his eyes and features were full of sharp menace. This house, I am buying it. The moment he spoke, he made refusal seem impossible. I gave a soft laugh. You certainly have a lot of money. I will pay 30% above your asking price. I do not want anything that belongs to Ruyan ending up in your hands. After you sell the house, please leave this city. If he had said nothing, fine. But once he did, I truly refuse to go along with it. I will not sell it to you. Sure enough, Yanjie frowned slightly when he heard that. He made a gesture. I knew that whenever he made that gesture, it meant he was determined to get his way. I raised one finger and wagged it. Yanjie, not a chance. If you want to buy this house, have Liu Ruyan come herself. Otherwise, forget it. Yanjie's gaze darkened with displeasure. A chilling aura radiated from him. The agent was so frightened that he did not dare say a word. Chen, do you really think I would not touch you? Yanjie, were you really abroad because you got into a car accident and missed the wedding? Yanjie's face changed in alarm. I casually waved my phone. Your travel records. Others may not know them, but I know every detail. Unless you want us both to go down together, do not show your face in front of me again. Get out. Yanjie clenched his jaw. He glared at me furiously, but ultimately left. That bastard really thought I was a pushover. Liu Ruyan can divorce me. That is fine. But trying to take my property is where I draw the line. The mighty Liu family thought they could fob me off with 30 million and a villa. I agreed before because of the money, but now they wanted the villa back. Sorry, I will not accept that. Besides, the diary recorded that this villa was where Chen and Liu Ruyan first met. The backyard was filled with roses Chen had planted himself. To Chen, it held extraordinary meaning. After transmigrating here and taking over his body, I deeply felt a powerful shudder at the thought of losing the villa. Yanjie wanted the villa precisely because of what it represented. He knew how deeply Chen loved Liu Ruyan. He would not allow anyone else to desire her, so he wanted to destroy it. In fact, Yanjie was even more ruthless than I had imagined. When the sale fell through, he simply set the place on fire. By the time I realized something was wrong, thick smoke had already spread through the room. Fortunately, security noticed in time and put out the fire. I had already passed out when they pulled me out. When I woke again, I was in the hospital. Liu Ruyan stood beside my bed. Seeing that I was awake, she said flatly, "You are all right now. Then I will leave first." I grabbed her wrist. Liu Ruyan. He did it. We both knew exactly who I meant. Liu Ruyan violently shook me off. Chen, I never thought you would set the fire and frame Yanjie. I framed him. I was so angry I laughed. Think whatever you want. Just do not regret it. Liu Ruyan's face darkened. She slammed the door and stormed out. I truly could not understand it. She was the female lead. How could someone this brainless be the female lead? Did she have to force me to reveal the evidence and grind her into the dirt? A day passed. Liu Ruyan's side began making moves. They took down the trending topic. I knew that was only for show. In reality, the Liu family had already begun to turn against her. Her marriage to me had only been meant to stabilize the situation. Divorcing now was a terrible idea. I sought out Liu Ruyan's cousin, Liu Ruyan. He swirled a wine glass, watching me with an unreadable half-smile. Chen, I underestimated you. The Liu family looks down on me, but even an ant can have its day. I slid a stack of documents toward him. If you want to win, it is up to you. Liu Ruyan opened the document envelope. He took one look, and his eyes immediately lit up. Is this reliable? Of course. For the past 3 years, I have been at Liu Ruyan's side. I was not just there to warm her bed. I investigated everything worth investigating. Though he knew there was someone in her heart and had won the heiress's favor, Chen still could not stop himself from envying that man. He used every connection he had to investigate for Yanjie. By a twist of fate, Chen died, and I got his findings. I never wanted to do this, but Fu Yanjie would not leave me alone. The Gu family company is already on the brink of bankruptcy. I will be next. Liu Ruyan raised an eyebrow. You are certainly sincere. But, even if Liu Ruyan falls, Fu Yanjie will still be there. Do not worry. He will not be strutting around for much longer. Leave him to me. Liu Ruyan smiled at me. The two of us raised our glasses and drank. Originally, I planned to take the money and walk away. But Liu Ruyan was blinded by love. She insisted on protecting Fu Yanjie, and he nearly burned me to death. So she could not blame me for fighting back. After leaving the private club, I put everything that had happened in order. I simply posted a wedding photo and the marriage contract on Weibo. It instantly blew up the trending topics again. Netizens flooded my Weibo page with comments. Holy shit. So, you did not force her into marriage? They are not even divorced yet. Does that mean Fu Yanjie was the other man? My Mr. Fu would never be the other man. You are obviously just trying to clear your name. Your wealthy circle is such a mess. I will just sit back and enjoy the drama. Whether his feelings were genuine or not, Liu Ruyan and Chen were definitely still married. Liu Ruyan cheated during her marriage. Lately, Fu Yanjie and Liu Ruyan had been joined at the hip. Whether at public events or private gatherings, the two were photographed together countless times. And whenever they appeared, they acted intimately. Fu Yanjie looked every bit like the possessive chief executive claiming his woman. His rabid fans even edited plenty of videos for him. The footage made them look impossibly perfect. Those videos nailed Fu Yanjie and Liu Ruyan to the wall of shame. Our parents arranged Liu Ruyan's marriage to me through a proper matchmaker. There was no forced marriage. The Liu family came to us themselves. The marriage contract is ironclad proof. Some netizens also questioned whether we had even held a wedding. Then someone anonymously posted footage from the wedding, though it was held alongside the company's 10th anniversary celebration. But every proper wedding ritual was there. I did not know who that helpful netizen was, but they did a brilliant job. The online buzz kept growing. Liu Ruyan could no longer sit still. Her calls came flooding in. I did not answer, so she came straight to my door. The villa had burned down, so I could only stay at a hotel. Liu Ruyan burst in. At the time, I was soaking in the bathtub. The moment she rushed in, she immediately turned away. She was shaking with rage. Chen, stop talking nonsense. Delete all your posts from Weibo. I clicked my tongue in mock amazement. After the way you slandered me online, Fu Yanjie even had someone burn down my villa. And now you want to silence me. Liu Ruyan, you are not being very sincere. When you are asking for a favor, you need to act like it. Liu Ruyan took a deep breath. I will give you 50 million. Set the record straight. Say you forced me into the marriage. Say Fu Yanjie was not the other man. For Fu Yanjie, she really had the nerve to say it. Liu Ruyan, do you not understand? Right now, you are in no position to make demands. If I do not agree, none of us will get out of this unscathed. You do not even care if the Gu family goes bankrupt. I climbed out of the bathtub, got dressed, and stood behind her. I wrapped my arms around her, whispering into her ear. The Gu family. What the hell do I care? Her whole body trembled. She never imagined I could say such a thing. I held her slim waist tightly, then scoffed into her ear. Liu Ruyan, it is not too late to regret this. Break up with Fu Yanjie. Why don't we get back together? I was deliberately testing her, giving her one final chance. Liu Ruyan suddenly shoved me away. She glared at me viciously. In your dreams, Yanjie will not let you get away with this. Fine. I would love to see what other trump cards your Fu Yanjie has. Get out. We are practically divorced already. Are you still trying to sneak a look at me bathing? It would be bad if Fu Yanjie got the wrong idea. Liu Ruyan spun around and left in a furious huff. I could not help smiling. I took out my phone and sent a message. Time to reel them in. Liu Ruyan had no way to deny it. The moment Yanjie said anything online, people tore him to shreds. He tried explaining himself in a live stream, but the netizens who flooded in quickly put him in his place. Some even confronted him head-on, demanding to know whether he had intruded on our marriage. The marriage contract and our marriage certificate were indisputable facts. No amount of whitewashing from Yanjie could change that. So he simply stopped talking. The more he kept quiet, the guiltier he looked. I also released Yanjie's scandalous videos from overseas at just the right time. That man certainly had not been saving himself for Liu Ruyan. Overseas, he had women on both arms, thoroughly enjoying himself. I even sent the whole package to Liu Ruyan. I hope they could have a calm little talk. Liu Ruyan was in a great mood when he drank with me. Do not be fooled by Liu Ruyan's fierce exterior. She is actually a germaphobe. She probably slept with you only a handful of times, right? But after she got together with Yanjie, it was earth-shattering. Pure fire and passion. Who would have thought Yanjie was a complete player? I could not help laughing. In the novel, Yanjie was the male lead, a domineering chief executive. Countless women threw themselves at him. How could he possibly stay faithful for Liu Ruyan? To him, as long as he did not marry them, those women were just passing flings. Nothing more than entertainment. Liu Ruyan tapped the table. When exactly are you getting divorced? There are only 7 days left. You need to hurry. Liu Ruyan understood. Then he released another wave of bombshells. It was footage from the day of the wedding 3 years ago. Videos and photos of Yanjie at a hospital overseas. On their wedding day, Liu Ruyan had called Yanjie. She even said that if he came, she would run away from the wedding. Unfortunately, Yanjie was with another woman then, having the time of his life in a hotel room. He was sent straight to the hospital. To convince Liu Ruyan, he even used a car accident as an excuse. Well, now look at him. His devoted lover persona had completely collapsed. Liu Ruyan shook with rage. She had a huge fight with Yanjie, and the paparazzi caught it on camera. In the footage, Yanjie had his hands around Liu Ruyan's throat. Her face was filled with shock and hurt, yet I did not feel sorry for her at all. Instead, I uncorked a bottle of wine. What goes around comes around. Liu Ruyan, can you see clearly now? This is your destined prince. What domineering chief executive male lead? What love that grew over time? It was nothing but lust at first sight. Yanjie was no gentle second male lead. In his eyes, women existed only as accessories to men. Even though Liu Ruyan had been raised as an heir, deep down, she was still just a woman. She could not accept Yanjie's betrayal, and Yanjie could not accept Liu Ruyan's dictatorial, domineering ways. They clashed head-on. Neither would back down or offer a single conciliatory word. There was no way they could last. When I saw Liu Ruyan, she was drenched from head to toe. She stood dripping wet at the door, clutching her clothes around herself. The moment she saw me, she threw herself at me. I took 2 steps back. Liu Ruyan's embrace met only empty air. Her face was full of hurt. Chen. He deceived me. And now even you do not want me. After only a few days apart, Liu Ruyan seemed to have aged more than a decade. Once cold as ice, and breathtakingly beautiful, Liu Ruyan now stood with her makeup ruined, and she was soaked through. It was raining outside. She had simply barged in like this. Who knew how many people had seen her? But I did not care. Liu Ruyan, I am not your fallback option, so now you regret it. My words stunned her. Chen, we are still husband and wife. Why are you being like this? Husband and wife. What a joke. You saw Yanjie's true colors. So, you came back to me only because you regret it. Disgusting. Liu Ruyan stared at me in disbelief. After all, no matter what she did before, I always forgave her. Especially when I saw her in such a miserable state. My heart would have ached for her. But, I was not the real Chen. Watching her put on this act, I only felt she deserved it. Liu Ruyan clearly could not accept this version of me. She hurriedly grabbed my hand. Chen, I was wrong. I misjudged him. Can you forgive me? I remained expressionless. You were wrong, so I have to forgive you. Liu Ruyan, no one will wait for you forever. Chen, you do not want me anymore. You said you would love me no matter what. I raised one finger and wagged it. If you had said that to me a month ago, I would have told you, I want you. I still love you. But now, I find you filthy. Liu Ruyan staggered back 2 steps. She stared at me, her lips trembling. I did not. Are you trying to tell me you did not sleep with that man? Emotional cheating counts too. I do not care how you explain yourself. All I know is for me. I pointed to my chest. There is no longer any room for you here. No, that is impossible. Liu Ruyan lunged at me wildly. Her hands clamped tightly around my arm. The pain made me furrow my brow. Then I looked at her. Why put yourself through this? No. I refuse to believe we will just lose each other like this. Chen, you still love me, do you not? I will change. Do not be foolish. Just leave. I pushed her outside and handed her the old diary and photo album as well. Let us part on good terms. Remember, you must come to the Civil Affairs office the day after tomorrow. Otherwise, I will release even worse dirt. Liu Ruyan took them and glanced at them twice. Tears immediately poured down her face. I shut the door without expression. That woman was beautiful, but she could never see things clearly. She was stupid and vicious. I would never want her. 2 days later, Liu Ruyan arrived at the Civil Affairs office right on time. She was clearly even more haggard, yet she was still making one final attempt to keep me. Chen, can we not get divorced? I am sorry. No. I rejected her without hesitation. Her face immediately darkened. I gave a faint smile, patted her shoulder, and went inside. 10 minutes later, holding the bright red divorce certificate, I let out a long breath. I waved to her, then turned and left. Liu Ruyan grabbed hold of me. We can start over. No one will wait for you forever. I could clearly feel the soul inside this body tremble. Then it was finally at peace. It seemed the real Chen had finally seen the truth too. He had let go. Liu Ruyan simply refused to let go. But why would I let myself remain entangled with that woman? Next, I posted the divorce certificate. Once again, I pushed both of us onto the trending list. Netizens flooded in. No way. We actually got the update. You really got divorced. Congratulations, man. You finally got rid of that two-timing woman. Man, I apologize for insulting you before. Man, for divorcing Liu Ruyan. How much did you get? Care to share? The netizens certainly cared a lot about me. There were also plenty of paid trolls among them, trying to frame me, asking how much I had taken from the Liu family. I smiled. The inspection results from the fire department had clearly confirmed that my house had been deliberately set on fire. The arsonist had also been caught and was currently on trial. I could not say much more. I only posted a photo of my house, charred black by the fire. I told them I had nowhere to live. Everyone began discussing it. Yanjie was pushed into the spotlight as well. Anyone with sense knew he was tied to the fire. That man is truly vile. If he cannot have it, he destroys it. Punish the criminal severely. What was Liu Ruyan even thinking? How could she possibly like Yanjie? I used to think Yanjie was handsome. Now, the more I look at him, the more of a creep he seems. Liu Ruyan can keep that sleazy playboy. Those two cheaters belong together forever. Yanjie's reputation sank even further. Liu Yuqian made his move at just the right time. The board held Liu Ruyan accountable for the divorce scandal. The projects under her control also began falling apart to varying degrees. Liu Yuqian rose to the top and took over her shares. Using her damaged public image as an excuse, he joined the other directors in removing her from office. Liu Ruyan fell completely from grace. There was nothing she could do to fight it. A servant from the old Liu estate secretly told me that Liu Ruyan had begun selling her properties. Her financial losses were enormous. The board demanded she cover them herself. She would likely have to sell quite a few properties. I was glad I had divorced her. Otherwise, I would have owed half those debts. Yanjie was not doing any better. He had returned from abroad, hoping to use his reunion with Liu Ruyan to elevate the Fu Group. Instead, it backfired spectacularly. Everything blew up in his face. The Fu Group's real estate company was exposed for using substandard materials, and falling debris had injured workers. It was not a major issue at first. They only needed to pay compensation. But Yanjie was too used to looking down on others. When faced with people defending their rights, he actually ordered his bodyguards to assault them. A reporter happened to catch it on camera. It happened while the city was filming a promotional video for its new development. With promotional footage being filmed, the higher-ups saw it and demanded severe punishment. The Fu Group's image plummeted overnight. Yanjie was arrested as well. They said he still acted arrogant during the arrest, claiming he was the Fu Group's president, and demanded that his lawyer pursue the mastermind behind it. I spent a little money to make him trend online. Yanjie became universally condemned. Legal influencers everywhere educated him on the law. I shook my head. As the story's overbearing CEO male lead, in the original author's story, he could stop at nothing. Even his crimes would be overlooked. But under my influence, this world was slowly returning to normal, and everything was getting back on track. Yanjie paid a fortune to get released. He paid the injured workers over $2 million and had to tear down the building already constructed and rebuild it from scratch. That was another massive expense. On top of that, the building's homeowners gathered voluntarily to inspect the work every day. At the first sign of trouble, they called the police. Yanjie was miserable. Watching this, I smiled. A transfer notification appeared on my phone. Liu Ruyan transferred me 100 million yuan. That was the bargaining chip I demanded when we teamed up. With the money, I bought myself a spacious luxury apartment. Then I began taking freelance jobs. Life was simple and fulfilling. The next time I heard news of them was half a year later. The Fu Group had gone bankrupt. Watching the male lead fall from grace over those 6 months, I could not help but feel startled. I never imagined my rival would make the original novel's world collapse. I was a little afraid. Could it be that I would be erased because the male and female leads have fallen? After living in fear for 6 months, I realized it did not seem to affect me. I immediately breathed a sigh of relief. There was no more news of Yanjie after his bankruptcy. I did not care either. When Liu Ruyan asked me out for dinner, we happened to run into Liu Ruyan. She wore a sour expression. When she saw me, she froze for a moment, then quickly understood. You'd actually teamed up to set me up. Liu Ruyan shrugged. A bet is a bet. Pay up when you lose. You had a good hand and played it terribly. That is your own fault. I smiled. Liu Ruyan seemed unwilling to accept the truth. She rushed over and confronted me. Chen, how dare you? I gave her a sidelong glance and snapped my fingers. A waiter came over at once. How may I help you? I pointed at Liu Ruyan. I thought this restaurant was members only. Why was she allowed in? Liu Ruyan was stunned. The man beside her immediately stepped forward, bowing and scraping before Liu Ruyan and me. I am sorry. I was just passing by and came in for a meal. Sorry to disturb you. He grabbed Liu Ruyan and said, come with me, now. Liu Ruyan shook him off. Who do you think you are, ordering me around? The man slapped her without hesitation. Do you still think you are some pampered heiress? Come with me now. Otherwise, you will pay for it. Liu Ruyan had never suffered such humiliation. She started arguing with him on the spot. The staff threw them out. I smiled as I watched her walk away. You sold her off. Liu Ruyan shrugged. A brainless woman like her. Her last remaining value is a marriage alliance. That man is one of our downstream suppliers. With him, we can cut costs by 20%. I shrugged. Fair enough. Liu Ruyan may not be very bright, but she is still quite beautiful. Even though she was once the woman I loved, seeing her so miserable now did not move me in the slightest. She brought it all upon herself. Liu Ruyan and I exchanged a smile. I had money and a home. That was enough for this lifetime. Trashy woman. Never see you again.